Hello, I'm Ethan Wall, and I will be narrating the presentation of the ISIS Destruction of Cultural Artifacts, which is a presentation by Maggie Young, myself, and Morgan Black. The beginning of Islamic terrorist groups can be traced back to the United States invasion of Iraq. This true reason for Iraq being invaded is debated, but no real reason stands today. Iraq's invasion was the root reason for a man named Zarqawi to pledge allegiance, quote, to Al-Qaeda core and the creation of AQI, unquote. It was a driving factor in three ways. It fed the Al-Qaeda's narrative of the wars against Islam. It attracted and provided sanctuary for those terrorists' organizational and operational activities, and served as a common enemy framework that encouraged marriages of convenience between groups that had previously formed distinct, more manageable threats. The decline of Al-Qaeda is primarily due to its loss of local support. They had started trying to enforce Taliban-like rules that had become increasingly intolerable, not unlike Sharia law. Another reason of the reign of Al-Qaeda was declining because they had started taking over the profits of tribal regions and causing mass violence against them. This decline of power eventually led to the blossoming of ISIS. The beginning of the Islamic State can be traced back many, many years. An early follower of Osama bin Laden, al-Zarqawi, was part of a group called Group for Monotheism and Holy War. The goal of this group was to draw the United States into a sectarian civil war by attacking Shias and their holy sites and provoking them to retaliate. Members of the group bombed the United Nations headquarters in Baghdad, killing 34 people. Zarqawi was later killed, and his successor, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who was the assumed leader of ISIS. The Islamic State, also known as ISIS, is a militant movement that has conquered territory in western Iraq and eastern Syria. They are a group of militant fundamentalists that often justify violence for what is seen as a higher cause. The higher cause that is being talked about when discussing ISIS is the Prophet Muhammad and his biblical story. It is speculated that it is one of the reasons for the destruction of cultural artifacts by ISIS, and it is because Muhammad destroyed idolatrous artifacts as well. Islamic fundamentalists believe in one central idea, that Islam must have all the power in this world. It is the true religion, the religion of God, and its truth is manifested in its power. It is an ideology that possesses an immutable law, revealed by God, that deals with every aspect of life. And it is an ideology, a complete system of belief and the organization of the world. Militant Islam will eventually use their beliefs of Islamic fundamentalism and the story of Muhammad to destroy cultural artifacts. Islamic fundamentalism started with the self-proclaimed Prophet Muhammad. From Judaism, he adopted the ideas of monotheism, ambulation, circumcision, fasting, and the prohibition of consuming pig meat. He was a believer in Judaism and sought to create an Islamic form of Judaism to impose on Arabia. He believed the monotheistic idea of one God, united under one nation, and because of this he felt as though anything and everything that disorganized people or segregated them should be destroyed. One needs to destroy all that separates people, and that is idolatry, idol worship, and opposing faiths. This belief stemmed from Muhammad's connection to Judaism and how the Jewish religion is completely intolerant of worshiping anything other than God. That is the reason why Islam harbors resentment towards Judaism, because Islam is not free of idol worship. That is the main reason behind ISIS destroying cultural artifacts in the name of religion. The Islamic State has been destroying artifacts and images throughout the Middle East. Extremists destroy important, beautiful statues and images that date back centuries. The artifacts are destroyed, and those who commit these heinous crimes film their annihilation and post it to social media. One of these sites has been destroyed was the city of Palmyra, located in Syria. One of the treasures that had been destroyed in Palmyra was an object that depicted a lion catching a deer between its feet. It was an ancient city that held beautiful Hellenistic architecture, and was the most recently destroyed, after it had been captured and taken over by the Islamic extremists. Palmyra had been under siege, and officials had made effort to remove any artifacts that they could to protect them so that they would not be lost forever. In an article by Anne Bernand, she states that officials in Palmyra have removed the smaller statues from the State Antiquities Museum, apparently in preparation for a possible militant onslaught. It has been constant debate on what to do to rescue what artifacts are left in the Middle East. Militant Islam is invading, taking over regions, and not just Palmyra. Should we buy back these antiquities from the Islamic State and have our own money being used to be fed back into the destruction that we are trying to save these things from? Or just allow them to be destroyed until there's nothing left? The connection to Fahrenheit 451 can be slightly difficult to see. However, it is definitely there. The basis of censorship. In the novel, censorship is displayed by the burning of books. The same instance applies to ISIS and their destruction of artifacts. People worshipped these artifacts that had been destroyed because they connected them to a higher power. By destroying them, the only thing they are left with is conformism. By burning books, what makes people different is being taken away. Same with the destruction of artifacts that make not only a religion, but an entire part of the world what it is. Thank you.